Hi everybody, I'm Alex Borowitz and I'm doing Chapter 10, Religion and the Humanities, Seeking Answers. Expression of the religion human experience is trying to find answers. Achieve the divine and reach enlightenment has been explored in many forms including religion architecture, sculpture, the fine arts, and rock opera. Some examples of the human expression in the humanities from ancient times through many periods to the modern are the ancient Great Pyramids of Giza. Many temples include the Great Temple of Ramses II, a medieval era bronze called the Dancing Shiva, Michelangelo's great Renaissance work, The Creation of Adam, and Andrew Lloyd Webber rock opera Jesus Christ Rockstar. What are the answers, if any? Since ancient times, when humans came together to live in great cities as a community, belief systems came into being trying to answer the big question like, what happens when we die? How was the universe created? Who made us? Do I come back after I die? Can we achieve the divine and talk to the gods? Can I be saved somehow and forgiven? The attempts to answer these basic humanistic types of questions and the roots of early mythology and religion. As religion and mythology evolved into many different forms as time went on, so did the religious creations of humans seeking answers. Expression of those religious reflections and answers to basic human questions or the enduring questions trying to seek knowledge and enlightenment can be found virtually anywhere in the humanities. Ancient Egypt. Can humans experience the divine? Can we talk to the gods? The ancient Egyptians believed the pharaohs were descendants from Ra, the god of the sun. Even though they were very human, the pharaoh was believed to have had a direct link to the divine and could commune with the gods in the great temples. Only the high priest and the pharaoh himself were allowed to enter the inner shrines to bring offerings and prayers. In the strong social and religious structure of Egypt that worshipped both life and death, these great temples were a direct way to speak to the gods. Many temple structures across the world, such as Angkor Wat, the Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia, the Parthenon, exist to honor gods and provide place to reflective prayer, giving mankind the opportunity to have a spiritual and uplifting experience and feel close to the gods. Angkor Wat in Cambodia is the world's largest religious temple in the world and has served two religions. It started life as Hindu shrine and then later as a temple and monastery for Buddhist monks. The multiple shrines and sheer size awe visitors. The pineapple-shaped towers taper to the sky and are typically of Buddhist architecture. The Blue Mosque. The temple in Istanbul is named the Blue Mosque because of its blue-tiled roof and the way it reflects the early evening sky. It is said to give worshippers a sense of calm and connection to the divine. It was built by Sultan that wanted to go outdo the Hagia Sophia just because he could. This is typical Islamic architecture, reflection repeating geometric patterns, domes, and architecture. Egyptians, where do we go when we die? Religious monuments and tombs. The pyramids explained by the Egyptian scholar Mark Lenner is that the pyramids symbolize the rays of the sun. The pyramid is thus the immaterial made material, a union of heaven and earth that transformed the divine king and ensured the divine rule in the afterlife. The pyramid was built starting in around 2500 BC and took 75 years to complete. They served the tombs for three pharaohs, and also symbolized Ra, the sun god. Their point tips reached from the sun just like humans reach out their gods for some kind of salvation and insight to the divine. The pharaohs were buried with everyday items like food, chariots, furniture, jewelry, animals, and weapons to serve them in the afterlife. They believed their souls would go on in death just like in life. On the way, everyone was judged by their acts and deeds, and then god Anubis would escort them on their way. Human beings have been asked for millennia what happens in death and if we go somewhere. The pyramids symbolize the Egyptians' attempts to answer their questions and give them their hope that we live on somehow in the afterlife. The Hindus. Do we come back after we die? Religious sculptures. The Hindu religious believe in triad of powerful energy in the cosmos to explain many things: Shiva, Brahm, and Vishnu. Shiva, the destroyer, explained the never-ending cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The bronze sculpture from the medieval period in India depicts his dance, with the cosmic circle of fire representing the continuous cycle of destruction and creation. His left leg is lifted to show the grace he represents in all things. His lower left hand is a gesture to have no fear. Brahm was the creator of the universe. Vishnu was the preserver of all life. These three powers combined gave a definition to humanity of the physical and spiritual world to everyday life and its struggles. The Hindus believed in a continuous cycle of death and rebirth, to suffer again and again until we reach an enlightened state. Only then can the soul attain its eternal reward. The bronze sculpture was tabletop sized and could be moved from place to place. So it was an everyday object, not something placed out of reach in a temple. So it was allowed spiritual reflection everywhere and anywhere. Christianity, who made us? Religious of the fine arts. This touch will not only give life to Adam, but will give life to all mankind. It is, therefore, the birth of the human race. The famous painting done in fresco on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican is the very religious expression of the Christian answer to who made us, how did we get here, in our own very human state. Michelangelo's use of the light and shadow in the classic Renaissance depiction of a realistic human from Milan who believed facial expressions all combined to awe the viewer, which was his goal. Nudes were typical of the time and attempt at realism, but you'll notice that only the god isn't wearing any clothes. This sets him apart as not being human. But it also refines the Catholic dogma that Christian God was the creator of life and gave human form. Worshippers could help but take comfort in teaching of the church and feel spiritually renewed attending Mass in the chapel with this great view across the heavenly cathedral ceiling. I only want to know a song from Jesus, Jesus Christ Superstar. Stop. Well, good job. Oh, there we go. That's recorded too. Anyway, composer Andrew Lloyd Webber and lyricist Tim Rice created the highly controversial rock opera that originally opened in 1970, resulting in a double album soundtrack release that was previously unheard for a musical stage production. It later opened on Broadway and was a blockbuster success in spite of the controversy and criticism from moral Christian groups in the Catholic Church. The appeal of taking this sometime brutally story from the Bible and matching it up with a hard-lifting rock and roll soundtrack attracted a mass audience because of its enduring spiritual message, a visual awe of a huge stage production. The show falls under the category of a blockbuster stage spectacular. It tackles a series of a dramatic story from the New Testament of the 7 days leading up to the crucifixion of Jesus as told from the perspective of a confused, frightened, and ultimately remorseful Judas. Denon, the song, I Only Want to Know. Also known as the Superstar Song, sung by the character Judas, sums up his internal conflicts. Only after Jesus has died and risen again does Judas have the realization moment of his role in the drama that has played out. He finally understands that Jesus had to be sacrificed to save humanity from their sins. Hopefully you enjoyed this presentation about religion in the humanities and the many ways it can be expressed. I think human beings will continue to search for answers just because that's what we do, but in the end I think we'll find the answers.